Hi everyone, and welcome to the Leo February 2023 weekly illumination reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance. So hi everyone, and welcome. We are going to be taking a look at the energy for the week ahead, or more specifically, about 7 days from whenever you choose to view this video. So we're going to be looking at what you're bringing in, what's going on around you, and then looking at a challenge, a block, or an opportunity that is going to be coming in. And I like to say actually looking at a challenge and an opportunity, because there's always opportunities each week. Okay, ooh. All right, Leo, let's see what's going on here. Okay, so we have Temperance, which is your energy, followed by the Magician in your external environment. So very interesting, because Temperance, I did 3 readings today. Yours is the 3rd. I did Sagittarius and Gemini before yours. Temperance snuck into each one of them, but yours is prominent, front and center here. This is what you're bringing in. This is the energy of divine timing, but more specifically, this is the energy of moderation. When it's brought within, this is moderation in both your emotions and how you choose to take action, bringing those together to form something new, to actually alchemize them into creating, I'd like to call it new magic in a way. And with the number 14 coming in here, it reduces to the number 5 in numerology, which to me speaks to freedom through change. And that change is this alchemization process that's happening here with you doing something differently with both your emotions. Maybe there's a more awareness of your emotions and what you're feeling, or how you choose to take action from a place of emotional connection. But there's something here that is, again, changing within. You have a very supportive environment and the external for this, because we have the Magician. This is the energy of truly finding that magic in your own life, of learning how to work with all of the different tools that we have in our experience to create something that we would like for ourselves, or to just kind of get back into that seat of realization that it is the one. This is kind of the start of our journey in the tarot. And this is the realization that we can manifest for ourselves, how we utilize our physical, how we utilize our thoughts, how we utilize our passions, how we utilize our emotions. And it's very, again, supportive of this, I think, this new you that's been starting to form and is waiting to come out. Now, with looking kind of at the past energy up to the present, we have the 4 of Swords, followed by the 3 of Swords, followed by the Page of Pentacles. So for many of you, there's been a process here of a time of reflection. This is a time of kind of rest. It's a time of possibly even being alone, where you're sitting there and you're reviewing all of the things, basically the heartache, which is coming in here, that when we sit down and we kind of look at those thoughts, that pervasive thoughts that are in our mind, that kind of pop up, that are like, you're not good enough, you can't do that, you're not lovable enough, you'll fail if you do this, or you can't do that because, and this is really being able to find your truth in that, and finding your truth and releasing the pain of the heartache from the past. Getting clear in your mental space so that you can be able to harness the energy right here of the Page of Pentacles, which is actually a very positive energy. It's one where we get back into that kind of youthful, optimistic state of looking at a gift you have currently in the physical and seeing what you can do with it, getting ready to take it out there, getting ready to share this with others. Sometimes this can be seen as the energy of a messenger, of somebody coming into your life, because that's really what you would be doing, taking this out and kind of sharing it with others, sharing that message of what you have. And it could be that somebody's coming in to do that with you. But I do get this feeling this is very specific to you, that there is a part of your experience that you want to expand on, you want to play with, you want to grow. But this is kind of that starting point of, let's see what we can do with this. So I'm going to pull some, and that's a good energy to have, being supported by this Magician energy over here. It's being very aware of what you have at your disposal to work with. Okay, let's go ahead and pull some cards. We're going to take a look at your main challenge. Then we're going to look at what Spirit's asking you to embrace, and then what's the opportunity coming in. Okay, what does Leo need to know? Okay. Oh, interesting. That came in upside down. I don't feel like I want to have that upside down like that. I don't put reversals in my deck. Usually when they come down face down like that, or reversed, I will keep them, but that didn't feel right to keep it reversed. So I'm going to leave it as it is. We have the Hanged Man as your main point of challenge or your block, followed by the Seven of Swords. Yeah, this is a difficult energy right here. This is avoiding seeing a new perspective on something, avoiding wanting to see that there can be a new way, especially with Temperance coming in, with you kind of alchemizing something. I think many of you have gone through a period where something within has changed, but maybe in a very subtle way. Again, sometimes when we just bring something into balance, where we maybe just bring an emotion to the surface and we just become comfortable with it, or we start to realize how much we want to take action based from a place of emotional connection to something, or maybe we realize, where we were taking action from a place of wounding and now we want to kind of release that. There's a feeling here of almost like kind of coming up from a period of hibernation or kind of a deep slumber, and you have this ability now to kind of come forward, that you've been in this state of reflection and kind of life review, and it's time to kind of, I think, get the ball rolling. Go out there, start asking those questions, start sharing this part of yourself, start seeing what you can do with it. And yet for many of you, there's a little bit of this this energy of like, nah, I don't really want to see that. I don't want to do, I know there might have to be a change here. I know that something within me has changed. But it's almost like just hearing, you don't want to embrace your own power. Ooh, that's a lot of cards. Let's try this. I don't know what that means, or if that means something specific to any of you. But there is something here, I feel like, where you've kind of, something stabilized within you. And it's ready to come out and be shared. Yeah, because there's something new that there could be a partnership, an alliance, or there's something new that wants to be built with others. Now, at the heart of your reading, you have the Nine of Pentacles. This is what Spirit is asking you to embrace. This is This is independence. This is abundance in the physical. This is where you have quite a bit that you have worked towards. You've been successful in whatever you've been working towards creating for yourself. And now you get a chance to stop, kind of smell the roses. You get to take in all that you have. But there's a feeling here too where we can get stuck in a comfort zone, where we are just kind of enjoying our home or whatever we've chosen to build. And there's still one more pentacle to go to get to the Ten of Pentacles, which is the culmination of everything that we want to create for ourselves in the physical. And so this can ask us to go out of our comfort zone, to leave that kind of beautiful walled garden and go out with one of those pentacles to find where that 10th pentacle can come back in and elevate this experience. So I think for some of you, there's an element of leveling up within yourself, getting to a place of moderation, but strength at the same time, allowing yourself to see something from a new perspective, and yet you're avoiding what you know is a growth period. It's time to go out and start to build, I think, something greater than what you had originally maybe been focused on. Now, in between the Nine of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles is the Ten of Wands. There's been a heavy burden that it's time for you to put down. You might have had to maybe go, when we think about kind of carrying a heavy load like this on our back, this is where we've taken all these steps of action. We kind of followed our passion. We did step by step, and eventually something became heavy. And this can also be isolating. This is where we think we have to carry that burden ourselves. And I think for many of you, that might be where this kind of heartache came from, that you felt like you had to kind of do it all yourself, or that you were kind of left out, that it can be where you decided, it can also be where you decided to take everything on yourself out of a sense of control so you wouldn't have to face that heartache again. You're being asked now if you can release whatever you've been carrying for some time, to go out on this new adventure with this Page of Pentacles, as this, what can I take from what I've learned about myself, the gift of the financial abundance I have, or the physical abundance, whatever's allowing me to be independent in some aspect here. How can I take that out and find where I can now start to build with others, attract others to me to start to build that legacy I ultimately want to feel. But this page can't also be carrying all of this on his back as well. He has to go out there with a much lighter load. So I'm going to go and I'm going to see what else is coming in here. Now, for some of you too, I'm just getting a very intuitive message here. I'm hearing it, that maybe for some of you, maintaining this level of physical abundance has become the burden for you. And you're feeling the call to do something new, to build something new, and yet you feel like you have to maintain what you've been focused on building here. So keep that in mind, that if something that if you are at a place of, kind of independent, you feel good about what you've created for yourself, but now it's starting to feel like this is a burden to maintain, whether this is a successful, thriving business, whether this is a beautiful home life, you name it for yourself. It might mean that you need to have that change in perspective of something that may need to be released, or you may have to learn how to share this burden with others to maintain what's already here, or you might have to look at this can be that you're maintaining this out of fear. Again, fear of losing that stability, when in reality you have an opportunity to grow beyond this. If you can really face kind of the negative, wounds from the past that come through that tell you that you can't. If you can kind of get into that place of saying, yes, I can, I think you'll see a marked change in what you're willing maybe to consider moving into. Sorry, I didn't take a drink of water there, guys. Okay, so let's take a look at the Hangman and pull some clarifiers here. So we have the Seven of Cups, which is opportunity, that there's a lot of options out there that could be emotionally fulfilling. And then we have the Two of Coins and the Six of Coins. Yeah, there's something here around this Two of Coins has been coming into all of the readings recently, and it's really kind of pushing us to look at what we do in our day-to-day, what we choose to prioritize, what we choose to balance and juggle, and really looking at, with the Six of Coins, that kind of return on your investment, looking at how you can balance what you give with what comes in. And for some of you, I think there may be this kind of, this Seven of Cups is confusing me a bit. It's interesting. I'm just waiting to see if I hear anything. Yeah, I think for some of you, there's this kind of call. I'm hearing what if, which is strange. I'm hearing this kind of call of almost like, well, what if I could do that? What if I could go out there? What if I could see what this, it's an interesting thing that's what I'm hearing. So for some of you, this change in perspective here, kind of waiting to see something new. Maybe as you were sitting here seeing your world hung upside down in a new way, you might have seen something that maybe you didn't see before, and you're like, well, what if that is possible? What if I could go out there and do that? And maybe it's showed you something in your environment that you're like, I kind of want to go for that, but you're running from it. With the Seven of Swords, you don't want to face that. Yeah, judgment and the devil. Yeah, because you have changed. The judgment is when we have been reborn. We are a new version of ourselves, and I think that's kind of what's been coming through here with Temperance, and then this time of reflection. But the devil is coming up chaining you, I think, to a past version of yourself. The devil is where we hold ourselves back, what we choose to allow ourselves to be tied to. And I think there's this new version of yourself waiting to be freed, waiting to be called up and out. And you might still be kind of holding yourself to another version of you that's tied to this heartache and pain from the past. Or just something that greatly wounded you. You know, this could even just be where there's like self-esteem issues of like, I can't do that. I can't own my own business, or I can't, go out there and build a wonderful home life with my significant other, or, whatever it is. But there's something here that says you've changed. You've changed significantly with judgment. You can't go back to the old version of who you were, because that version of you died. I mean, not literally, but that version of you, in order for you to be called up again, a version of yourself had to pass away. And now there's a new version that's risen. Now, with the Nine of Pentacles, we have the World and the Hanged Man. For many of you, there's kind of a hard stop here. Like the World coming in with the Nine of Pentacles is like, hey, you achieved something. You were working towards something. You achieved it. There's a level of success, a level of stability, a level of abundance. That was wonderful. But it's come to an end. Like that cycle for you, because you're realizing now that wasn't the end of the road. There is another journey of another pentacle waiting to usher in a much larger plan for yourself. You can look at these individuals all here at the Three of Pentacles. They're looking at a blueprint for something bigger. The Hanged Man says this is a change in perspective, that suddenly now you're seeing what you've been working towards as limiting. That once felt great, that once felt comfortable, that once felt like, wow, this is the end all to beat all, is now done. This is the burden you're carrying, because this is not the end. So let's see here. And this is positive. This is saying that there's a whole level of abundance that's waiting to come in, a whole level of an extra layer to your life. Two of Cups. It says it's time to share the burden with others. It's time to have that equal partnership, that you can build it stronger with others. But this is also that sharing on a vulnerable emotional level with others too. I need help. Will you get on board with me if we want to make this change? That kind of thing. And then here's the Death card and the Queen of Wands. Yeah. Queen of Wands is Aries energy. It's an individual who goes out there and she makes for herself what she wants to have happen. But there's a version of this part of yourself that has died. A version of you who did attract the right circumstances, who worked your magic, and you grew this. It's interesting. I like to call her the kind of witch archetype in the tarot. She's the individual who knows how to work with her magic wand. She found it on the table and she's like, oh, I am going to go out there and I'm going to make my perfect home. I'm going to make my perfect life. I'm going to make myself look the perfect way. And with the Death coming in here of this individual, of this part of yourself, there is a realization, I think, that the magic you are weaving that's directly tied to the abundance you have now, this version of yourself is what has passed away. That there might be a new stabilized version of yourself. Because when we think about what temperance talks about, it talks about tempering your passion, which is directly tied to your wand, your magic, what you take action towards and how you take action with your emotions. And I think that there may be a level of emotional connection on a new level that came in and shows you now that maybe embodying that energy became also a burden. Sometimes when we get to that place where we're just manifesting and attracting and constantly having to show up and be seen in this specific way, that can be exhausting. So there's something in here around this fiery, passionate part of yourself has gone away. And on some level, what you created from that has now become and feels like a burden. But yet, the beauty in the change in perspective is that you have people to connect to help share the next. So if you put down the burden, 10 of Wands is the end of that cycle of carrying that burden. You get to put it down and pick up one wand. It's your wand of inspiration. It's your magic wand. But I think there's going to be a new connection to how you work with that passion, how you choose to take action, which has been what's been alchemizing within you. And it is going to be something that you need to connect authentically with others. And for some of you that this is like quite a big change that's happening, you may need to rely on others in your life to help you through this process. You know, when we think about the Two of Pentacles and the Six of Coins, this says a return on your investment, but also that sometimes we might find ourselves in a different place in our experience. That at any given point with the Six of Pentacles, we may find ourselves on the receiving end of life and its abundance. And on the other side, we might see ourselves at another time, the giving, that we are the ones that have to give of our abundance or be the ones to give to others and be charitable. So there may be a change here for some of you on that level. Maybe you were the one that had to be the creator of this independence, and now maybe you find yourself wanting to have to lean on a partner while you pursue a dream or a business opportunity or the growth of something else in the physical. Okay, so now we have the Three of Pentacles. So let's see what this is. Three of Pentacles is a card of partnership. It's a card of working with others. It can also be a card of recognition, or somebody else sees what you have to offer. They see your coin and they're like, hey, you want to join us in what we're doing? Now we have the Seven of Coins and the Knight of Cups. I love it. There's an element here as to where I think many of you are looking at what you've been working on or working towards, and you're kind of doing like this like life review of like, okay, if I look at all the work I put in and I look at what I've gotten out of it, what are the actual results of the work I've put in? Do I want to continue to invest in this way? And the Knight of Cups is a beautiful energy that comes in and says, can you just get into that place of optimistic faith that what you feel is going to, that you can trust what you feel to keep going with like this kind of optimistic perspective into the future. The Knight of Cups holds his cup of vulnerability, his cup of his needs, his dreams, and he goes out there to share that with others. But he's been coming up a lot in a lot of my readings, and I feel right now at this time, it's a card of faith. Can you have the faith that things will work out so that you can continue to invest in what you've been working on or change how you've been putting in your time, energy, and money into something? Because if the benefits aren't exactly what you're excited about, it might be that, hey, now is the time to say, okay, what's the bigger vision? What ultimately was I hoping for? Or what am I hoping for now? And again, how can I change what I'm bringing to this situation? That really with the Three of Pentacles. How can I change what I now bring? And how can I do so with this like optimistic, hopeful, romantic feeling of what I bring, we can build it better together. This new vision is more in alignment with me. This is what I want to dedicate my time, effort, and energy to. All right, Leo, I'm going to pull a final card here for many of you with the strange kind of what if coming in. I do feel like lean into that. Lean into the what if. That's the Knight of Cups leans into the dream. Lean into that dream that you could build it bigger. And remember, this individual is building with others. He opted. This is like a child coming forward and saying, could you guys use this? I have this talent. I have this money. I have this ability. Could you use this? Could we use this to build what I hope I can use this to build with? And the others might say, yeah, come on board. Okay. But I think some of you are going to have to see how you can maybe prioritize your time and energy a little differently to prioritize this maybe a new venture coming in. And again, you might have to put down the burden of having to maintain this level of independence and stability, or whatever again, this is like a side business or your main business. This could be like, okay, I want to start a new venture. So I might have to employ a manager to come in now and to maintain the level of the business structure that I have in place, because I can't continue to do that. My time doing that, building this is done. This could be like for some of you where you built a business and you got to the point now where you are no longer just that individual who started that business. You are now an individual who has mastered the industry and now needs to level up. And this is where we kind of get to that growth period of like, well, do I continue to do everything myself, or do I start to delegate those things? Do I start to realize like, yeah, I can still maintain that original office as I go to expand my empire, but I have to now pay somebody to come in and do that. I have to share this load with someone. This could also be kind of a shift in focus from, again, just maybe focusing solely from taking action from a place of passion. And now you're like, okay, I'm going to get more focused in the physical, dedicate my time to growing something beyond, what I originally started. So this could even be a home life that, again, you achieved a certain level within your home life, a certain level of physical abundance, but you're like, man, I want more. I want the bigger house. I want the vacation house. I want 25 acres. And it's like, okay, well, while you're out there doing that, then how are you going to set yourself up for your house now to be maintained? So make sure that the bills are getting paid, that the water is on, the grass is getting mowed, what do you have to put in place to manage that while you expand your horizons? What else does Leo need to know? What else does Leo need to know? I'm surprised. Usually these cards just fly out, but there we go. Okay, we got 3. All right, well, that's why. Big message here to end this. Okay, so we have surrender stress. It says take a few deep breaths and exhale the tension you've built up in your body. Let the stress go as you come back to your center. Yeah. There's you don't have to do it all yourself. And again, for many of you, you might have felt that you needed to because of, again, a past pain, a past failure, a past hurt. And at this point, know that you've gone so far past that. You've achieved so much and such a beautiful level of stability and abundance. That's wonderful. But you can go further now. You can grow past this point. We have surrender to spirit. It says, once you've done everything you can to achieve a goal, turn the situation over to the divine. Let spirit work its magic for you. I love that. And then we have surrender to creativity. Let your imagination soar. Stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. And I do get that feeling of that what if coming through. Like, what if this is possible? What if I could do this? Yeah. Surrender to spirit. Say that, if there's a what if, a dream that's kind of been ignited, a broader vision for your future, then instead of just stressing over the fact that you don't have that or that you're afraid to follow it, it's saying, why don't you surrender to spirit to say, this is what I'd love. And yeah, I am going to be the faithful, optimistic knight who's ready to go out and pursue this dream. Help me. Surrender to your own creativity. What if this is possible? How could I make this happen? And you might be surprised. You might even attract somebody to you. But you have to go out there also and share what this what if is. Share it intimately with others and share how in wanting to pursue it, you might have to put down a burden or restructure something around what you've already built so that it can be stable without you bearing the full responsibility of maintaining it. I'm going to pull just a couple clarifiers here. Let's see about surrender to creativity. When we think about the magician out here, this is pure creativity. So for many of you, it's about really looking around you, looking in your environment this week to see, maybe you might even get just like, watching a TV show or listening to a podcast or even going out just someplace and you see something. You see somebody doing it the way that maybe you had the what if about, like, oh my gosh, well, if they could do it, maybe they can help me, tell me how I can do that for myself. Or you might get an idea of being like, oh my gosh, I never thought to do it like that or to go after it in this way. And that might be that realization of like, wow, if they can do it, so can I. Leo, I'm getting that big feeling of saying, if they can do it, so can I. That should be your mantra. Oh, I love it. And we have 10 of Cups with the Magician. Here's the Magician again. Yeah. the Ten of Cups is your ultimate happy family card. That is the home life, the work. That is like your whole experience is as emotionally fulfilling as it could be. I call this my getting to emotionally connect to your feeling of what heaven would feel like if you could bring a piece of it down on earth. But there's something here about really using your own magic, your own creativity, what you uniquely bring to every situation to be able to manifest this for yourself. And I love that it says, let your imagination soar. Stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. Don't take anything off the table. Don't limit yourself. That's the one thing with, there is a new version of yourself waiting to come out, and you've seen a new way to do something. You've seen a new way to do it. And it may even be an easier way to do it. It might be, so keep that in mind too. You might have seen a new way to do something that's far easier, and you're holding yourself back from following that path. But the mantra, if they can do it, so can I. So release the chains that you tie yourself back to the person you once were. Realize you have come so far in achieving something you long wanted to, but this isn't the end of the journey. There's still so much further to go. And the new version of you is much stronger, much more balanced. And there's something that's alchemized within you that is waiting to come out, a new magic. And that new magic is ready to build this version of heaven on earth for yourself. But the creativity is going to come from this heart-centered place of what you want to experience emotionally. Love it. Okay. I'm going to leave it there, Leo. I hope you all have a wonderful, illuminating week this week. I look forward to reading for you next week. I will also be releasing a love reading for each sign next week, since we are getting closer to the Valentine's Day holiday, as well as just this month in general, with the Leo full moon being so prominent. This is a month that really asks us to focus on the heart space. So I think we could all use a beautiful love reading. And if you'd like to book your own personal reading, you can click on the link in the description box below to view a list of my services and to book if you so choose. All right, Leo, I hope you all have a wonderfully loving and illuminating week ahead. Bye.